The Earth may be a vast, beautiful area about which we are perpetually curious, yet it is a speck in comparison to the cosmos. Since technology enabled launch of rockets and satellites into space, humans have yearned to learn more and more about the unknown. How shall we proceed? The Voyager is sending us data to analyze, and it has just issued us a dire warning that is about to alter everything. Join us as we analyze everything that Voyager has discovered as a date, the terrible message, and what it could imply for the future. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at Voyager's terrifying warning that something just made contact in space. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. To reach the current state of affairs, we must first discuss how everything began. That was the initial launch of the Voyager and the Voyager 2 spacecraft. Contrary to their names, Voyager 2 was the first spacecraft to leave the planet. The launch was successful on the 20th of August 1977, while Voyager 1 was launched on the 18th of September 1977. Both spacecraft were on their way to exploring the universe and were the first to capture images of the moon and Earth together. This occurred shortly after the launch, and with it, NASA began making history. However, the mission was much more extensive than merely circling the moon. It was intended to examine the solar system in great detail. The entire endeavor was well organized. Even though the solar system is depicted as being completely round, it is not. There are only specific times when all the planets are perfectly aligned in a fashion that allows for effective space travel, as their orbits are all variations of an oval. August and September of 1977 was a window in which all the planets on the Voyager's initial track would be in its path, so it wouldn't have to divert significantly from the path to reach this destination. This was of the utmost importance, as the Voyagers are not powered by solar energy or conventional fuel. They utilize RTGS. Considering that the Voyagers had a lengthy journey ahead of them, it was essential to use them as efficiently as possible. Within a year, the Voyagers have reached Jupiter, ascending to Earth 4000 with close-up photos. Additionally, it identified 2 new moons and an extra ring. Within the first year, it became evident that the $865 million spent on space probes would indeed be justified. Although some may disagree, we cannot ignore the fact that it is essential to understand the solar system in which we exist in. With each passing second, the ships transmitted more and more of the data they were collecting, and as time passed, things became even weirder. After the successful completion of the Jupiter mission, the Voyager was expected to make its way to Saturn, which proved to be more difficult than NASA had anticipated. Not only was the terrain harsh and the Voyager smashed with many space rocks, but it also discovered 4 previously unknown moons orbiting Saturn. Titan, the largest moon, was one of the new discoveries, and it illuminated the reality in addition to the knowledge that we were without. We were also missing the larger details. The travels of the original expedition officially concluded at this point. NASA science has redirected the spacecraft away from Neptune and Uranus, and towards the edge of the solar system. Voyager 2 was to take its position and go to the planets, and he has done an excellent job. The Voyager spacecraft officially crossed the solar system's boundaries on August 25, 2012. Before he did so, however, it transmitted us a snapshot of the entire solar system, which included all of the planets. It was our first real glimpse of how little the Earth is in the larger scheme of things. It then accelerated through the heliopause and heliosphere, passing the solar system's border and commencing its voyage beyond the solar system. The first purpose of the Voyager's expedition was to explore the solar system. No one could have imagined that technology from the 1970s would survive this long, let alone travel interplanetary distances. Even while the Voyager is not in its pristine condition, it once was, and many of its components had to be disabled to keep it operating as it has for decades. Despite this, there is never any significant problems with the functioning of the cameras or the transmission of data back to Earth. Given that we're still able to get information from the outside of the solar system, we may say that waiting a few hours for a message isn't all that horrible. This year, however, all this has come into a question. Currently, the Voyager is approximately 15 billion kilometers from Earth. Even though the spacecraft appears to be operating normally, there have been some strange abnormalities in the communications it sent. It was discovered that the spacecraft had difficulty determining its location and intended destination. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.